Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Just across the Canadian border, a few miles north of Derby Line, Vermont, there are the Stansted Townships of Quebec. And the townships are mainly the hamlets of Georgeville and Fitchbay. As the name suggests, Fitchbay is near a bay in Lake Memphremagog, and it's in this tiny town that you'll find the biggest lavender farm in Canada. It's called Bleu Lavande. The farm's lavender-filled breezes and acre after acre of beautiful, breathtaking flowers makes it a popular spot for locals and tourists. And today we're going to learn all about Bleu Lavande from two guests. Joining me are Patricia Fartish, who is the farm's guided tour director, and Michelle Lamarche, who is the farm manager. Bonjour, and thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you.
So great. So let's start with a little history, Pat, about how did the Stansted Township become the home of the largest lavender farm in Canada and one of the largest in the world?
It started with a dream of having a blue flower in fields. And we implemented a large scale of lavender. The property contains 260 acres, 42 of which is for lavender cultivation.
Wow. And you have something like 100,000 plants?
Yes, we do, and we also have 3 varieties. The most popular one for its pure lavender oil is the Mondstadt Agostifolia. We also have some lavandine, and we have Afghan lavender that we added last year in the spring to our fields, complementing our blooming season, if you wish.
Right. So, Mike, when did you begin the business? How did this get started?
Well, it all started around 2002. The fields were all getting the fields all ready. They got plowed, they got harrowed. After that, we made mounds to keep the lavender higher from the surrounding grounds so it stays dry and it drains properly.
Because I think a lot of people think of lavender as something from Provence, and where it's dry and it's very different climate. So how do you deal with this?
Well, that's why we mound the soil so the lavender is higher, so then it drains properly.
Right. And then you opened officially to the public in 2004.
And celebrating our 15th anniversary this year.
Fantastic.
We're very proud of that.
Yeah, well, wonderful. So, Mike, what is lavender? It's a flower, an herb?
Well, it hasn't been officially declared a herb because of its woody stem. But, however, lavender is still used in many preparations for medicinal and culinary use.
Right, and so we've heard there are 3 varieties that you cultivate up there, and they clearly must be doing very well.
Yes, well, the main lavender that we have is also, like Patricia said, the Lavandula augustifolia type, also called true lavender or fine lavender.
Right.
That's the one that we cultivate the most.
Okay, and most people are familiar with the appearance and the fragrance of lavender, but so it's grown in mounds. It does amazingly well here, and so tell us a little bit about how it's grown, and then we'll get into
obviously the main 2 ingredients for success in growing lavender plants is that you grow in full sun and in a well-drained soil.
Okay.
If you have that, you're okay. The plants are started in a greenhouse from seed. All the seed comes from Europe, which is certified seed. They all started in their little containers. They grow, and eventually they're put in a bigger container, and eventually put out in the field.
And then they're perennial. They're
perennial. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Once you get them going, and everything is very organic at the farm, right?
Yes. No pesticides, no herbicides, none of that.
And what is lavender used for? Many, many uses. I've started to use it, have it by my table in case I wake up in the middle of the night.
Well, it's, like I said, it's used for medicinal properties and culinary use. But for us, the main use is the essential oils that come out of the lavender, so we make all our products with it.
Fantastic. And some people even make tea and other things with it.
They make
everything.
There are so many. I'm amazed because I've even went, you know, Googling recipes on the internet, and it can go from poultry to creme caramel desserts. And at our farm, we serve in the summer lemonade with lavender. We also have ice cream with lavender, a favorite for visitors. And in our beautiful boutique, we even have spices. So people that like to, you know, do a little pizzazz for their Saturday night dinner with guests will use a lot of spices, which we have. And for the people that do have a sweet tooth, we even have chocolate with caramel and lavender. So basically everything that is found in our store is based with lavender oil and other natural ingredients. We don't have any perfume in our products.
Right. So, except the perfume of the lavender, of course.
Yes.
And it's all the flower, right? Do you use other parts of the plant?
We use the whole part of the plant, the stem and the flower, not just the flowers itself.
Right.
There's oil in all of those parts, but mostly in the flowers, but there's still oil in the stems.
Fantastic. And when is Bleu Lavande in full bloom? Coming right up.
Around the 15th of July, mid-July, till the beginning of August. Again, we have to keep in mind that we do have 3 varieties. So mainly the Monstead, which has the pure lavender oil, will start off the season. And Michelle keeps an eye on the fields every day to make sure that that flower doesn't turn changing a bit of color, because if it does, we need to go in the fields and start doing the harvest on that particular perennial.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are watching for when the flower is at a certain point to begin harvesting.
Usually it takes let's say a couple of weeks after the big peak, the big flowering peak season.
So, and the different varieties are harvested at separate times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So interesting. So, like other farm businesses, you rely on the weather, of course, but your business also relies on pollinators and bees, and we all know that they're in decline worldwide. What are you doing to really help protect the bees and other pollinators?
Well, we've partnered with Bee City Canada, mainly because we are an herbicide and pesticide-free farm of that. So we really appreciated the fact that they are very present in schools, with the populations, with businesses, raising awareness. So this year in our guided tour, we will have a mention of how to save these pollinators. And actually we even, and I brought one today, we've manufactured over the winter months a new soap called With Lavender and Honey. So for every purchase of this soap bar, we will give back 50 cents to Bee City Canada. So very easy steps, actually. It can go from having a pot of flowers, a garden of flowers with vivid colors at your home to attract them so they can go and elsewhere. And you can also grow vegetables in your garden, or you can grow vegetables in a community center as well. Encouraging also farmers that have herbicide and pesticide-free fields for vegetables to encourage them as well.
To make sure you buy from those farmers that are helping the bees as well.
Definitely.
And even I saw a tip that you had for mowing higher. And leaving your leaves. So these are things that we can do at home to help with the pollinators.
And not as often, not to mow as often.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us now a little bit about your guided tours if people want to come and visit. You
well, with
have a lot of
pleasure.
visitors.
Yes, we do. We have over 35,000 in a summer, and it's like July, August, very, very busy time of year for us. And we also have groups. We have over 100 coaches that come and visit, that bring a lot of visitors, tourists. So the guided tour is really optional, I would say, because visitors can roam freely, stroll in the fields without a problem. But I suggest the guided tour because we provide information about the perennials when the tourists arrive, and there's no waiting period at all for the guided tours. I have several guides that work with me as a team, so when we get groups of 5, 10, or 50 people, we just go. We present a short video in our auditorium, and the video is all about if you wish, going back to the very beginning where you see the machinery in the fields working the soil, and then we have great pictures of the bloom in the fields. And after that, when we exit the auditorium, we invite the customers. We walk, because we have fields really coming close to the buildings. So we walk with the visitors to allow them to, you know, run their fingers through the bushes and really smell and recognize the different fragrances from the Mondstadt, the Lavandine, the Afghan lavender. And a lot are surprised when they come to the Afghan lavender, because just by touching the leaf and smelling, they smell sage. And it's also called Russian sage.
And so you also take them to the distillery?
Yes, we do.
And
we talk about the harvesting, and how about a 24-hour period, which is very crucial from the minute that Michelle's workers go in the field, start cutting the stems, bringing that back in the distillery. There's a 24-hour period to respect between handling, depositing, and putting in the still.
Harvesting in the distillery is just 24 hours.
Yeah,
because
you call everybody up, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Otherwise, if you wait too
like the
long,
grapes here.
you're losing oil.
Wow.
Basically.
Okay, so that happens very quickly.
Yes.
And you have a few other activities right on site?
Yes, we do. Massages.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. Right in the field?
Massages for sure. And if your viewers from across the fence look at our website, they will see that we also have activities in the summer in July, the Family Weekend, the Lavender Festival. Kids love the Family Weekend because we have a lady there that will do some drawings to the ones that they choose. They can paint it on the face. Really nice.
And yoga, we are almost out of time, so I want to make sure that our viewers know where to go to come up. How can they learn more?
Definitely on our website. And because we are celebrating our 15th anniversary, everybody is welcome. I want to give out a shout, if I may, to a group that did visit us Saturday afternoon, 54 ladies and gentlemen from the Burnham
From
Memorial.
Colchester.
Yes, they loved
Burnham
their visit.
Library.
And I told them I'd say hi, so hi to you all. And the first 50 callers that will call in our toll-free number will get, from across the fence, they will get a guided tour as well.
Okay, great. Call this number, go to their website, and say that you saw them here. Thank you so much, Pat and Mike, Michelle. It's
Thank
great to have
you.
you here. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. Across the Fence, I'm Fran Stoddard.